Hey everyone, and welcome to day 4 of your 30 days of fall fitness. First, I want to start by saying that Tia and I are so proud of all of you. The participation we've seen so far has been inspiring, and it's honestly one of the highlights of coaching for me so far, just seeing the passion and the commitment that you have. And I'm just really excited to see how far you'll come just in this 30 days. I can tell that many of you will be committing to this lifestyle for the long term, and I think that it's going to make such a huge difference in your lives, and I just can't wait to hear about it. So today we're going to be talking about nutrition, and it's specifically going to address some of the nutritional requirements for those of us that have fibromyalgia. Now, I know that not everyone in the group has fibromyalgia, but these lessons are relevant to everyone and can be applied to anyone with any lifestyle, any health condition, or even a perfectly healthy person, because we all can correct and improve our nutrition. The first thing I want to talk about is my experience with nutrition. I think, in the back of my mind, I always knew that there were foods I shouldn't be eating, but I guess there's some degree of denial or something like that when you're coming to terms with having a condition like fibromyalgia, and you just feel like, well, I deserve to eat this because, I'm going to feel bad anyway. And really, the reason you feel bad could be because you're eating that. So for me, the first thing that I knew I had to do was I had to identify the foods that were triggering my symptoms, that were basically causing the flare-ups. And to do this, I kept a food journal, and I would track how I felt after I ate certain foods, and it was pretty easy to identify almost immediately some of the foods that were triggering problems. And so for me, there were a few key triggers that I knew I needed to eliminate. One was gluten. It was pretty easy to see that gluten was a problem. Every time I had a sandwich, every time I had, anything with gluten in it, I had a very specific reaction. It was easy to identify that it was gluten because it was the one consistent factor in all of the things I was eating, after which I would have this reaction. Some of the other things I had to eliminate were diet soda, which soda in general really is not good for you. I mean, let's be honest. Diet soda is really, really bad for you because it has aspartame or some other form of artificial sugar, which is basically toxic. I was a Diet Coke addict. I got rid of it about 4 or 5 years ago and never had it since. And I honestly never thought I could give it up. Another thing I never thought I would give up is coffee. And I loved coffee, but I knew I had to do whatever it took to feel better. And so I gave that up in March and haven't had it since. Don't want it. Don't care. The first few days were horrific because, you have the headache and everything, but totally worth it. I also eliminated processed foods. I personally chose to eliminate all meat, all dairy, so I'm vegan. And that's not something that everyone has to do because you have to identify your triggers. For me, the animal fat was not creating a good reaction. Plus, personally and emotionally, I kind of always knew I should be vegan because I just would get really emotional while I was eating meat and think about the cow or the chicken. So I just knew I should be vegan. Not something everyone needs to do to feel better. It's just making smart choices and eating the right kinds of meat, the right kinds of fish, and just making healthy choices. So that's really the foundation of how I've changed my life is nutrition. Without making those changes, I would not be where I am. I would not be climbing to the top of a 13,000-foot mountain. I would not be working out for over an hour every day doing intense cardio. You have to address nutrition before you will feel better. It's really that simple. So the things that you need to consider are the standard trigger foods. So the foods that have been identified by research as triggers for fibromyalgia, they include things I've already listed. Diet soda or just aspartame in general. So Splenda, anything like NutraSweet, any fake sugar is not good. It's toxic. It's a chemical. Coffee generally is a trigger. So you need to think about that. I mean, I know it's hard to think about if you love coffee, but it could be creating some of your symptoms. Nightshade plants have been identified as a pretty common trigger. That's eggplant, tomatoes, potatoes, things like that. It's not everyone, but it's just something to think about. Processed foods are really, 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 really bad. Processed foods are not good for anyone. So, I mean, there's really nothing else to say. Processed foods are not good. Fresh foods that you prepare, that's what you want. Foods that have been made in a plant somewhere that are filled with preservatives are not good. That includes fast food. All fast food is filled with preservatives. Even the salads, they have preservatives on them. So it's better to just pack your lunch and be prepared with snacks, healthy foods, so that you know that you're eating the right foods. What is my puppy doing right now? I don't know. What are you doing? You identify your trigger foods. The best way to do that is to keep a food journal. I've actually prepared a document under files in this group that, and I'll try to show it to you right now in this video. And so what you'll do is you'll write down every day, you'll write down your breakfast, your lunch, your dinner, your snack. You'll write down how many glasses, 8-ounce glasses of water you have per day. If you have the ability to track your calories, that's fine. There's a spot for that. If not, it's no big deal. You also write down your activity for the day. And then you're going to track how you feel. So it's going to be really easy to say, I ate pizza today. I feel like crap, or whatever. It's going to be obvious what your triggers are. And you have to be willing to get rid of those foods. And really, it's important that the people in your life, in your household, are willing to support you in that. Like my significant other, James, he's vegan too now because he knew that this was important to my health. This was going to make our life together better. We were going to be able to go enjoy more things. And he's eliminated all the foods that I've had to eliminate because it's not in the house. I mean, if it's in the house, I'm going to want to eat it. I'm going to want to drink it, whatever, So you need that support from the people in your life so that you can make these choices, these necessary changes to feel better. Please get in touch with me if you have questions about different foods, different reactions, like how you're feeling. I know it's a unique situation and many of you have never heard of trigger foods, but it's a real thing that happens to everyone. And if you don't build a strong nutritional foundation, if you don't fuel your body with the right things, you're going to have a very difficult time progressing in your journey and really achieving your goals. So, think about doing this. Think about making this commitment. Maybe for the next week, you can keep a food journal and see how you feel. And I'd love to hear your feedback about that. So let's go out and have a great day and eat healthy, get some activity in, and I'll look forward to hearing all of your reports back for the day. Thanks. Bye.